If this keeps happening in your life, it's not bad luck, it's a pattern. Come on in. Hi, my name is Jenna, and come in for your daily transmissions. So, what you're finding here is not a problem, it's a mirror. I do this work, I do mirror work, where I look at the environment and I teach people to look at your environment. What is it telling you today? Is it chaotic? Is it peaceful? Is it joyful? Are there people that are coming in that appear to be showing a reckoning on your life as it appears? Well, I like to say we are creators of our fucking reality. So, what does that mean? That means that we have decisions. And when we are out of alignment, we can make decisions. Those are points in our field, in our life, where we say, I keep going in this path, even if I know I feel out of alignment, even if I know that this relationship, this friendship, this job, this experience does not feel like it's in alignment. Well, then what's going to mirror back? That frequency of not being in alignment. And the reality around us starts to just spin out and spiral out. So I've heard this before, and I've had clients come to me on this many, many times. I keep attracting, or they actually don't say that, the same type of person and relationship keeps coming in. I keep seeing them. What's happening? Right? So, in such a safe and loving way, though, the way that it's always approached is what is the root belief system here to why we are validating, in this mirror? Okay, why do we stay solidified in this mirror and keep attracting this type of, say, partner, for example? Right? So, how is this me, right? If you're over here and you're like, Jenna, how is this me? How do I keep attracting the same type of person? Right? Looking at, for example, what are your belief systems? Well, most of the time we will subconsciously validate some belief system that we learned somewhere. So if we grew up with and we started to believe that we aren't worthy. Well, how does that start to reflect in our reality? You know, our subconscious, when we're not in alignment, or our subconscious really wants to validate that pattern to come back around so that we actually were proving ourselves right. I know it doesn't feel like that makes sense, but for example, say you grew up with a parent that really put you down, that really just continued to not support you, and maybe even they were mean, maybe even narcissistic or bullying, right? Not going to get into the psychology of it, but just the symptoms of this. Okay, so then now we're out in the real world, however long later, decades later, you're an adult and you're looking for a partner, and there's some part of the subconscious, if you have not done the work or if you do not continue to dive into the pattern, but the subconscious in a way wants to say to that parent, I am worthy. All the shit that was said to me, that's not real. That's not true. So a lot of times we can attract in the type of partner to prove that we are worthy. So what does that mean? That partner can bring in symptoms of the same scenarios, like someone that puts you down, someone that doesn't believe in you, someone that really can belittle you. And what does that mean? That gives the little you a chance to finally say, I'm fucking right. Right? So you stay in the loop, in the pattern, in that relationship, because it's like, oh, if I get to prove to you that I am worthy, that's saying to that parent in a subconscious way that I'm fucking worthy, right? Maybe this sounds like you, maybe it doesn't make sense. But I will say this plays out all the time. Loops in this all the time until we start to see the mirrors of our reality for what they are. They're showing us the frequencies and belief systems that we still have within. So, what happens? How do we break the pattern? How do we do it? How do we step out of the loop? First, we really need to see and become aware that we are in a loop, that we are in a pattern. So I say a lot of times, why am I not happy? Just asking the question. So step out, you bring awareness and say, oh, okay, I'm not happy because this is happening with my partner. That doesn't feel good. Okay, so then I take a step back. I decide, right? We decide to then be the creators of our reality, and we say that is not for us. So we step out of that. That is not in alignment of my truth, and my truth is I'm fucking worthy, right? So we step back, we step out of that, and then we start to go back to the belief systems. Okay, like what is going on here that something in my reality is bringing me words that are putting me down, right? This core worthy wound or unworthiness wound, really. And then start to work through that. Do the shadow work. Clear those belief systems out. A lot of times when we bring awareness to these things and the direct correlation to it, we clear it out. This is the work that I do in Akashic Enlightenment with clients, but you don't need to be in a session. Sometimes we don't really know why we're going back in the loop, but if you really pause and you go back, right? Okay, like this is a similar scenario in a different form, in a different face from something that happened when I was younger. And now my subconscious is trying to validate by recreating it in a different way and giving me a second chance to prove myself, when actually that's the illusion. The illusion is that power means I have to prove. And true power, true fucking power, is sitting back and saying, that's not me. That's not in alignment. That's not for me. I choose this other way. And then what happens? Our environment shifts, our reality moves, and it starts to mirror the frequency of that truth. So always look at your environment. Always look what's happening around you, what is happening. And even if you feel like you have no control over your environment, like how could I possibly call that in? Just take a step back. I really invite you to take a step back, take out the fact that why would I ever call that bad experience in? It's just an experience. What are we learning? The last piece I'll leave you with here is that when we are living in true alignment, the mirrors of the environment reflect that. So the lessons that we came here to learn, okay, I believe from the work that I do that we have signed up for things and agreements and contracts, right? But those contracts can be ripped up because when we are living in full fucking alignment and we are diving in, what lesson do I have to learn? If I see my truth and I follow it and I move and groove in that, the second I see it happens, or maybe like give me 2 minutes, right? But it's not a month later. It's not a year later. I move into that space and I'm in alignment. What lesson does my environment need to bring me to show me that I'm not in alignment? No, I'm moving and grooving in that alignment. So these lessons start to dissipate, and it's actually just us being co-creators of our reality and what feels good, and following our heart. So if you found value in this today, hit that like, follow, and subscribe. And feel free to check out my website for more information on how you can see the mirrors of your environment. All right, much love.